Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel. So, I have something that I want to talk about that I feel like it's just not getting enough publicity, and this is the sort of thing that should be getting all of the publicity in these times that we're in, since everyone is going through such a difficult time. And it is about Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos's ex-wife. So there's a common idea that all billionaires are dishonest, right? Which is how they were able to get the billions that they have. I think that this sentiment comes from the fact that there is a massive disparity between billionaires and a vast majority of the population. And majority of the population comprises of people with a lot less resources than billionaires. Many people believe that many questionable decisions had to have been made by these people for them to achieve their billionaire status. It is also a common belief that there is a lot of gatekeeping that happens in many industries such as music, movies, politics, etc. And because of this gatekeeping, the morally upright people are not allowed to excel beyond a certain level. And in order for them to be allowed through this proverbial gate, they will have to compromise themselves in one way or another as a way to pay their dues in order to pass through these gates to get to the billionaire's side. This payment or compromise can be in the form of accepting certain favors from certain people, or giving favors to certain people, or endorsing certain people, or refusing to stand for certain causes, etc. We see this play out quite often, so it is common knowledge. So anyway, there is a group of billionaires that we do not talk about when we mention billionaires being dishonest or, not getting their billions the right way. And we do not talk about them when we talk about this topic. And that group comprises of people like Mackenzie Scott. Mackenzie Scott became a billionaire by assisting her husband in the home front while he works to accomplish his career goals. I guess I should say their career goals, right? So she's not directly at the forefront of all of the wealth that they have acquired, but she was a strong backbone to Jeff Bezos while he was out working. So while we can make the argument that perhaps Jeff Bezos did not get his billions the right way, and in other words, he is one of the dishonest billionaires out there, you cannot say the same of Mackenzie Scott, who is also a multi-billionaire. So the reason why I think that we should talk about billionaires like Mackenzie Scott a lot more is that not only was she not dishonest in earning her billions, but she makes a lot of donations, an insane amount of donations. She donates a lot of her wealth to some institutions that are focused on assisting minorities, and institutions that focus on work that help society at large, not just giving other multimillionaires even more money than they already have. I came across a recent donation that she made to an HBCU, which is why I decided to make this video, because off and on we hear about, oh, Mackenzie Scott has given this much to that institution and she's given that much to this institution, and it's like people just dismiss it as if it is nothing, and everybody have this idea that all billionaires are horrible people, and that's just not true. Okay, there's some people out there that have a good heart and they are billionaires, and they're truly trying to do their best to reach as many people with their resources as they can. Now, giving is common with people that have a lot, even the crooked ones, the politicians, the artists, and a lot of the celebrities that we hear about, all of these people give a lot, okay? So you do not have to be a good person, or honestly, you don't even have to have good intentions to give. But there's something that's to be said about someone that has a habit of giving to institutions that help underprivileged people or minority groups or causes that go a long way to help the general society. That is how you know when someone is giving out of the goodness of their hearts versus someone who's giving just to have a building or a stadium named after them for their own self-aggrandizement. Okay, so I think there's a difference with Mackenzie Scott and the way that she gives. It seems like she's very careful in the institutions that she gives to, and she always gives to institutions that will help a lot of underprivileged people, which is why I think we need to talk about these kinds of billionaires a little bit more instead of grouping all of them into instead of lumping all of them into the terrible pile and say that, well, all billionaires are evil and there should be no billionaires. I don't think that's a good way of viewing things at all. In recent times alone, she has donated $80 million to Howard University, $50 million to Virginia State University, even though she had given $30 million to them in 2020, so also technically 80 million. And then to Alabama State University, she's given 38 million. To United Negro College Fund, she has donated 70 million in gifts. To Center for Disaster Philanthropy, she has donated $60 million in gifts. To Morgan State University, she has donated $63 million. This is nothing to sneeze at, guys. I know she's worth a lot of billions, but it is nothing to sneeze at. All of these millions, tens of millions that she's donating to all of these institutions that is focused on equity, and a lot of them are HBCUs and health related institutions that help the wider society. It's like, it is easy to dismiss this amount of money being donated by someone with a lot of money, but think about it. There's a lot of people that have a lot of money but donate nothing, which means it is quite a big deal that she's given all of these donations. And by the way, the thing about people who give a lot is that even when they have a little, they also give. Givers give. It's what they do. People that do not give, even if they have a lot. We all know of that person who gives a lot, even if they have so little, they will find a way to give you something, even if it means a little piece of what they have to use for themselves. They will give something. And then there are people who, no matter how much money they have, they never really have enough to give. I don't know if you guys have ever come across a person like that. They say things like, when I get this much money, I'm going to do this, this, and this for these people, but they never actually do it. When they have $50, it's too little for them to give because it's just $50. But when they have $5,000, it's like, wow, all I have is $5,000 to my name. If I give from that, I'll have so little left. When they have 30,000, people who earn $30,000 a year, for some reason they believe they earn too little to give anything. The same people, when they begin to earn six figures, do you think they're suddenly going to think that they earn enough to give? No, because they're not givers. So it's not really about how much they have or don't have. It's not about what other responsibilities they have. It's that they are just not givers. No matter how much responsibilities you have and no matter how little you have, you will find a way to give something. Even if you cannot give money, you can at least give, I don't know, some way, or like you can give them a reference to where they can get resources, or you can give time, you can give something, but if you notice, people that do not give just do not give at all. They never really have enough to give. It's always one complaint or the other. And I always say that if you cannot give when you have a little, you most definitely will not give when you have a lot. A lot of people feel like just because you have a lot, it'll be easier to give people because you just see everything that you have and you feel like giving a lot of money will come to you a lot more easily. But take a look around you and look at the society we live in. It is the wealthiest people that are even the greediest. They're doing everything they can to accumulate even more because for some reason, no matter how much these kinds of people have, they never truly feel like they have enough. They always have this scarcity mindset where it's like, I have to accumulate more just in case this happens, just in case that happens. I have to accumulate more for this reason and that reason. And oh, there's an island over there that I need to buy, so I barely have enough to buy the island. And then they buy that island and it's like, oh, there's this other building here and this other business that I've been wanting to start. So it's never truly enough, and they never truly get to the end of their desire to get more, to acquire more for themselves. So because of that, even people that are super wealthy still do not give if they are not givers. So I think people like Mackenzie Scott needs to be talked about a lot more. And the amounts that she gives, all these gifts that she gives, should not be taken for granted because it is a lot. It's an insane amount. I saw her recent donation, $80 million donation, and I was like, oh my god. Hopefully all of these donations are being put to good use. But yeah, she is a true giver, and I think people like her should be praised a lot more. That's just what I wanted to say in this video. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.